Last video, we spoke about the largest and most influential faction in Hell. However, there are smaller parties who claim and somehow maintain independence. Small refers to their population and political power. It is not in reference to the power that matters. Civ Trao, translating roughly to I am, is a way of life some vow commit to. They have their own interpretation of Rowenian history and philosophy, believing they need to compete for their power and to prove it to all who may witness. An inseparable religion and faction has formed over time, where all work independently but parallel towards a promised afterlife. They steal souls, like the rest, but insist that the violent component of this act be as fair as possible. Knights of Civ Trao make shallow, lazy efforts to convince their peers that each of their duels is fair and thus won more deservedly, informing a twisted sense of honor. It seems my species can't leave any good thing alone. It is rumored that the most proven among them earn the right to a profane art that even the compass itself has not yet engineered: the ability to store multiple souls in a single weapon. Vile trophies to parade around their arenas and guild halls. This is the focus of their spirituality, believing that a warrior's death will bring a level of afterlife relative to the number and quality of the souls in their weapon. It is stated that ownership of 6 souls is prerequisite to the least impressive level of this next eternity, then 66th and better, and so on. Some souls are considered more worthy than others, however, the rules remain very unclear to me and perhaps even themselves. The value of these trophies is authenticated by an ability accessible to all factions. Blacksmiths across Rowan can know the history of an item with a single touch, instantly learning what the material of a weapon was used for prior and how many times it was reforged. The same ability is used to comprehensively verify the souls trapped within. It is said that particularly angry souls can be sensed by all, with their wrath so loud no skill is needed to hear them. Civ Trao will wage war, united in the preservation of their way of life. Not long now skirmishing across the border of Saurohin, resulting in the Saurohin capitulation of what is now the Kingdom of Dran Lower. Historically, Dran Lower was the primary breeding ground of Civ Trao's mount of choice, the Rowenian Warbeast. Warbeasts are quadrupedal monsters bred into stagnation from unknown ancestors. They are born with large upper arms, crushing hands, and prehensile tails. Chosen for their large head crests, perfect for protecting a rider from incoming hellfire, and 2 crested protrusions on their back, acting like a roll cage should the beast be knocked off balance. Riders mount themselves on saddles between these protrusions, allowing them to maintain grip even when the beast walks on their hind legs, allowing use of their massive arms. Warbeasts are said to never stop growing, put to war when double the height of their rider and becoming the size of cities should they survive their rider's way of life. I often wonder if you truly understand the scale of the Valkyrul if you consider how tall I am and then how tall a Warbeast would have to be for me to ride atop it. It is often questioned how Civ Trao have survived for as long as they have, given that they are seldom united and even when they are, fail to compete with the other major factions of Rowan. The Knights have many times issued challenges to the other major powers in attempts to prevent war. They spread word of the cowardice of any army who might invade Civ Trao instead of sending a champion. I recall even my Enforcer companions speaking of the shame it brought Saurohin when they chose to invade Dranlower instead of sending a champion to duel for it. What is strange is that I know not the rules of these border dictating duels and do not know where they take place, nor has anyone told me they have witnessed it. What I do hear is the caliber of challenger who has never returned from answering the call. The Compass's mightiest heroes and the Drow's largest dragons alike have failed to earn conquest of Civ Trao. This logic applies to the individuals as well. Knights can challenge or be challenged, and it is considered cowardice to refuse. In case you forgot, cowardice can be lethal in Rowan for more than one reason. Civ Trao Knights will often add conditions for their challenge, fighting without weapons, fighting with the same weapon, or even banning particular techniques. I once witnessed a duel on the border of Dranlower between a knight who had assimilated and his brother who had not. The latter demanded a warbeast be offered to him so that they might fight on equal footing. Now both mounted, the true knight clearly had far better control of his beast than his brother, rolling around attacks and commanding his monster's tail. Swatted off and dying on the ground, the Sauroinian brother, who had accepted the challenge, made his final words, "I never could master the beast, but you are nothing without one," before his eyes turned grey. The challenger walked back into Civtrail with two beasts in tow.